it's almost over. They ain't gonna let it pull me under. But I will conquer.
Hello and a very good evening to all our viewers. You're on Sri Lanka's number one sports hub, ThePapare.com, and we're bringing you live action from the Dialogue Rugby League 2018-2019. And action moves to London Place here at CRNFC, where CRNFC will be hosting Police Sports Club in this brand new 2019 calendar year, the second round of the Dialogue Rugby League. We saw the first game of the second round yesterday. Havelock Sports Club running away with that win, 50 points 32. That's how Havelock Sports Club won against Army. And up here in London Place, we have another exciting clash. CRNFC in third place in this Dialogue Rugby League will be facing the sixth place Police Sports Club team here on a very sunny Saturday. And joining me alongside is Abdullah Yusuf. Abdullah, very good afternoon to you.
This afternoon, Inshaf. Yes, we can expect a very exciting encounter today. Police, I think, are one of the most rapidly improving sides in this Dialogue Rugby League. CR, on the other hand, have never quite been the same team since that defeat to Kandy up in Nittawala. They've just not managed to hit their straps from then on, and have ended that first round with a rather disappointing draw against Army, and I'm sure they'll be wanting to kick off their campaign in this second round with a convincing win. But I'm sure Police under Shamli Nawaz look a very formidable outfit. They've had a couple of good results at the latter stages of that first round, and I'm sure they'll want to start this second round on a winning note as well.
The first victory coming for the Cops against Army, 41 points they scored, including a wonderful effort from Sachit Silva as well. But matters heating up at CRNFC as well. We'll talk about that later in our pre-match discussion. Before that, here's a look at the conditions. Thunderstorms is the prediction on weather, but I think it's going to change later on, Abdullah. It looks very bright, and the conditions are very fruitful for fast running rugby, and that's exactly what we could see. The temperature and the humidity levels are very high. That means that the referees will want to take that 1 minute break within the half as well.
Yeah, that's right. I think more than the sun out there, it's the humidity factor that does play a big part. It just saps the energy of the players and does have an impact on the pace at which the game is generally played. So I'm sure both teams will keep that in mind. But the good thing about both these teams is they are very intent on playing fast rugby. Both teams' forwards are not very formidable, so they like to run the ball. I'm sure both teams will try to spread the ball as much as possible and test each other's three-quarter defense as well. But from CR's point of view, I'm sure they will want to try and tighten things up. Their forward pack really hasn't delivered in that first round, and that's been the reason why they haven't been able to follow up their performance at the beginning of the season, as we mentioned earlier on, since that Kandy game. Police, on the other hand, they've really come to the fore during the latter stages of that first round, and I'm sure they'll be looking forward to trying and causing an upset and getting their second round off to a good start.
CRNFC also is not the best of years for the CRNFC side. Their skipper Kamit Perera also sidelined due to injury for the third successive week, and disappointing news coming in for CRNFC as well at Kokila Samanda Perma's tragic deaths. Abdullah.
Yeah, that's right. It was a big shock for everyone at the London Place Club. Kokila, also known as Marco, was a very, very popular figure and very popular player amongst not just the players but even the club fraternity as well. And his tragic death came as a shock to everyone at the club. And I'm sure most of these players will be having him in their mind when they take the field today, and I'm sure everyone at the club as well as the entire rugby fraternity will have their thoughts and their wishes to the family as well.
Thoughts are with the Samanda Perma family at this tragic hour. You're logged on to ThePapare.com. This is the Dialogue Rugby League 2018-2019. We'll take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll see action and what took place in the first round of the Dialogue Rugby League.
Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves, only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Crunchy munchy.
Fiery Kochi.
Crescent Kochi Bites. Try it. Love it. The original Kochi Bites only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London. Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Breeder Fast Pulsar NS160 with wider tyres and twin disc brakes from David Pierce Motor Company Private Limited.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
It ain't easy, but it's almost over. I ain't gonna let it pull me under.
Welcome back to live action from London. Please, if you're joining in right now, this is the Dialogue Rugby League 2018-2019 action from the second round. CRNFC hosting Police Sports Club. Live action coming to you on your number one sports hub, ThePapare.com. Also on My TV and on Dialogue TV Channel 1. Abdullah Yusuf is alongside me. Abdullah, it has been a comprehensive season. I think one of the best we've seen in the past 3 years, I would say. And the first round was a good indication on what's to come in the second round.
Yeah, that's right. I think Candy were probably heads and shoulders above the rest. But you've got to keep in mind that all the games, their tough games, were at Nittawala. They're a team that just doesn't travel as well as was witnessed in their last game against Navy. As we have a look at yesterday's...
That was Havelock Sports Club facing Army in the season opener. Coincidentally, they also played the second round opener just yesterday. Havelock Sports Club emerging victorious in the first round as well as in the second round. And then action moved to CHNF, CRNFC, where CR hosted CH, and it was a cracker of an encounter that went down to the final minute.
Yeah, that's right. This is one of the closest games, and it's a time when CR were pretty much on top of their game. Tarinder Ratwat leading the show. He was pulling the strings very well, and CR were very much on song during these first few games. We saw Navin Hinakange coming during the latter part of that game and scoring a try that put them in the lead at that moment, but CR just having what it takes to come up trumps in that game. A very closely fought game, 24 points to 23.
Taking a look at that CRNFC and CSNFC sides, both of these sides have dropped quite a bit from what they were in that opening week of the CSNFC also have problems of their own, and then Kandy Sports Club, after that disappointing first 3 weeks, I think they've come back strong to make a point that they are the number one side in that Dialogue Rugby League. This was the game between CR and in fact Kandy and Police, where Police had the cushion of the foreign player, where Emosi Vinivosa almost turned things around for Kandy, but for Police rather. And although with that foreign rule taken out, Police Sports Club are struggling also once again.
Yeah, that's right. But I thought they did adjust themselves very well since then, and they put in some very competent performances, if I may so. And this was one of the closer games that Kandy did have to face. They had to go up to Nittawala, historically not one of their favorite venues. And it was no different this time. They just managed to pull that game off in a very closely fought encounter, 22 points to 20. It was as close as Kandy were run in that first round. And so it was pretty much them and Havelocks were very much the two outstanding and consistent teams in that first round.
Here's a look at the Papare is the team of the first round. Quite a bit of CR and FC names making that 15. Tarinder Ratwat, in fact, has had the best seasons he's played so far. 90 points, averaging at 12.5 per game, and that's something as a coach you'll be very delighted to have in that number 10 position.
Yes, well, he started the season off very well, but unfortunately from a team perspective, they seem to be fading off during the latter stages. But just coming to this team, Inshaf, I think probably for me the most outstanding player was very much Dushmant Priyadarshana. He was the senior statesman in a very youthful Havelocks outfit, but he led from front and he played a big part in where Havelocks have they find themselves in the runners-up position, and him along with probably Buoneka Udangam were very much the two outstanding players of that first round.
It's a moment that CR and FC are having, remembering their fallen player Kokila Samanda Peruma. We saw the family of Kokila also making their way onto the ground. A special ceremony for them as they were presented with the match jersey of Kokila Samanda Peruma by their team captain Tarinder Ratwat.
Yeah, that's right, and just a couple of minutes of silence in memory of him. We also mustn't forget that his elder brother Shane Sambanda Peruma did captain CR a couple of seasons ago, so two very popular brothers at London Place, and we'll just take a moment to mark silence in memory of Marco.
Thoughts are with the Samanda Peruma family once again at this time and meanwhile Omaka Gunaratna is set to lead this CR and FC side.
Yes, that's right. It's a very tough moment for everyone at London Place. I think most of the boys were devastated by the events that happened over the last weekend. But I'm sure they'll be definitely having their thoughts and will definitely want to play for Marco as much as anyone else, because he was definitely a very important and a very popular player in this CR outfit.
Here's a look at the CRNFC team card. Ganja Shekhar Supun Vanakul Surya joins and starts his first game at hooker alongside Charna Chamikar Pandu Gangamana Gayan Dilshan changes in the second row. Joe Pera, the experienced player, undoubtedly best flanker we've seen in the Dialogue Rugby League. Then Wajid Fahmi, Omar Gunrat, the captain Rahul De Silva, Chanaka Chandima joins at stand of Rizara Faidin, Rayan Silva, Sumurat Kotke, Nalin Kumar and Kevin Dixon. Taking a quick look at the police lineup: Hashan Fernando, Rasid Silva, experienced Rasid Silva, Danushka Surya, Nisa Samadhi, Muhammad Dean, Vagichivir Singh, Surya Purima, Harish Chandra, Sifaz, Chandimal, Chanaka, Pivituru Silva, Sajid Silva, and Suranga Kasun will be the police starting lineup. So a lot of changes in this CRNFC outfit. Chanaka Chandimal set to play as the first 5/8 in the absence of Tanin Ratwat, who will be starting in from the bench. Ball goes into the hands of Vagish Veerasinghe.
Get back, number 2 back, red. Get back.
It's cleanly collected by police. They've just started off extremely well.
Roll away.
Just recycling the ball.
Hands off, red.
Just recycled it very well. Spread it out. Got numbers out wide, but unfortunately not straightening up. But managing to find that gap is Sajid Silva. He's been outstanding for police this season. Just the last minute desperate ankle tap, saving CR's blushes earlier on. But police have recycled the ball extremely well.
Advantage. Get back.
And they've got control. They've tried to spread it as fast against an disorganized CRNFC defense. But CR just having enough players out there, but referee Priyantha Gunaratna adjudicating that CR line was offside from that first phase. As we have a look at that good bit of three-quarter play, a dummy scissor opening the gap, and just good clean pair of heels by Erosion Silva. And some desperate last-minute defense just preventing police from going over. So good start by police, a chance to get onto the board first of all. And welcome Sudarshana to the commentary panel.
Thank you, Abdullah, and good evening to everyone. Fiery start by police. Can they put points behind it? Yes, they can. So 3 points to start out the game with the lead. It's going to be a very emotional game, this, Abdullah, because like we witnessed the remembrance of Kokila Samad Beruma. It wasn't a great start for CRNFC family here. So there are a lot of players. For them, this game means much more. It means a lot to them to give back to their beloved hero who had fallen.
Yeah, that's right. We were just talking before the game with Inshaf as well. What a popular figure Marco is, along with his brother Shane as well, who also has captained CR some time. And looks like Malka Gunaratna has taken a quick tap from that free kick.
Quickly taken that time by Supun Varnakula Surya, who's trying to create something for CR. Has a new line. Rehan Silva trying to break the defensive line, manages to do so, gaining important yards there. Rahul, quick delivery from him. Chandimal's offload is travelling forward, but CR will get the penalty advantage. So good passage of play by the Redmen.
Yes, so that's a free kick. The reason why the free kick was awarded is I think they've just held the player up a bit too long, and I think from the kickoff, and that's why that free kick was awarded, and subsequently police did not retire. As we have a look at that once again. Yes.
I think that should maybe have been a penalty because the player was brought down.
Yes, it's an interesting call. I don't think any of the CR players actually made contact as such. But nonetheless, Sia have opted for a scrum. Rafaidin makes that initial break, gets over the gain line. Sia need to try and generate quick ball as much as possible. And Angamana just breaks through that first tackle. It's done extremely well. Rahul on hand, and looks like they have an overlap, and they go over for a wonderful try. It's Sumudu Rankotke, the former Isipatana captain, who goes over. So that's the kind of game that Sia will look to play. Quick recycled ball. Will just continuously asking questions from that police defense, and police just not organized and capable enough to handle the pace at which that game, those phases were created. And just Sia need to do more of that, Sudarshana, because whenever they have done that throughout the season, they've always looked very dangerous.
Absolutely. Take a look at this quick ball. Resurrefied him, breaking the defensive line, and players enough numbers to recycle that ball, give it quickly to Rahul De Silva, sending it out wide. Another forward making that important run, sucking in the defense, which creates the extra lap for Sumudu Rankotge to do it easy. Wants to cut back in and make it a little more easier for the kicker on the conversion attempt, as CR quickly hits back with 5 points.
Yes, that's much better from Sia. That's what they wanted to try and achieve. Much more quick phase ball. They've got a bit more of a mobile pack compared to other teams, but they just don't seem to have that weight behind them. So they've got to make you ensure that they try and speed the game up as much as possible. And Rafaidin taking that kick, but managing to slot it over. So that'll give Rafaidin much confidence. He'll have a big role to play as a place kicker, because Sia deciding to place Tarinder Ratwata on the bench for this game. So we have a look at that. A good strike. Managed to keep his head still as well. And the ball just going right, sailing through the upright. So Sia striking back immediately, up 7 points to 3. It's important that they carry on this momentum for the rest of this half.
Now it's important time for CR to make sure that they hold on to their concentration, be patient, and stick to their game plan. Police, on the other hand, will like to slow things down, because they have a very organized pack, Abdullah, like you said. Similar to CRNFC, maybe they don't have the same quality, but they are like pack. They are not very heavy. They can get around the ground except for that front row. So they will want to challenge CR with their width as well.
Yeah, that's right. They're very well drilled pack, isn't it, Sudarshana? That's what we saw. We saw some good driving mauls, something which Sia were not very competent in handling in that first round, but not the best of line-outs. Nonetheless, they managed to retrieve the ball, and it's a wonderful break.
Running through the middle, that was left behind, and here's to finish it. The flanker for CRNFC. Police, I beg your pardon, that's Vagish, if I'm not wrong, former Isipatanian.
Oh, but he's just knocked on Sudarshana by the looks of it. A wonderful break from that line out. By Jani Chandimal. This is the break by Chandimal, just slicing through that entire pack. Again, wonderful pickup by Adisha. It's a good open side. Flank always is. But unfortunately, just before the line, knocking the ball on. And another great lost opportunity for Police. So an opportunity for CR to clear their lines.
Defensive scrum for CRNFC, but seems like they've succumbed to pressure. Losing that ball forward, so giving Police another chance. Police need to now reorganize. Yes, they missed out on a very close try, but what they will try to do here is to make sure that they go back from here with points, because with their forwards they will have a chance to put CR under pressure here.
Yeah, that's right. A really unforced error by Rehan Silva on that occasion, just trying to set up another phase to clear their lines, but unfortunately knocking the ball on. So great opportunity for Police to make amends after that lost opportunity by Adisha. And a good number 8 break, creating another phase. Looks like they will use their forward pack to try and hit Sia as much as possible. They're very competent in such close quarters. They continue to probe along the fringes and ask questions of the CRNFC defense.
Get back. Red, get back. Last foot.
They did trouble Candy as well in the first round, doing the exact same thing. Can they cross over this time? And just maybe they did manage to score against Candy, but the try was not awarded. Here's a lost forward coming from CR again, trying to turn that ball over.
Yes,
Police with a chance right underneath the post.
Yes, Police just need to show a bit more patience, I think. If they can just slow the ball down, they've got, I think, the necessary bulk from 5 meters out to just try and probe and go over. Just got to be a bit more clinical in how they execute that.
I think, Abdullah, they need to try and use the wider channels because they are attacking the closer channels, and this CR pack can organize themselves very well. So they need to make sure maybe take that ball from one man out, one pass out, and try and widen the defense a little.
Yes, it's a matter of making the correct choices, isn't it? And playing what's in front of you as well. That's a big Rasit Silva. Sia seem to have got their hands on it, but referee Gunaratne telling them to release. So Police continue to build up the phasers. And they decided to go for the drop goal option, which seems to have gone astray. So a really lost opportunity by Jani Chandimal, who was the instigator of that initial foray into the Sia half. A bit of a surprising option really to go for the 3 points. And if you do from that kind of situation, you've just got to ensure that you do kick it over, isn't it, Sudarshana? So Sia will breathe a sigh of relief.
Absolutely, a chance given away by the Copts. Will they be able to get this back is the question, trying to create a counter. Sending it right across his Police now. Have got space on the outside, but decides to cut back in.
Get back. Last foot.
Police, will they have the patience to finish this one off? They have plenty numbers waiting on the outside, Abdullah, and there's a huge gap opening between the first receiver. Here's trying to exploit it, Janit. Scrum off challenge there, lucky to get away. Nope.
No advantage.
Referee Gunaratne spots that.
Yes, so there seems to be quite a few infringements by Sia in these early stages. They've just got to ensure that they keep their discipline from phase play.
Charge.
And on that occasion, I think it was Sumud Rankotge who was penalized for using a shoulder in the tackle and not getting his arms around. So Jani Chandimal does find touch. Just about 20 meters outside CRNFC's goal line. So it's been a bit scrappy from both teams in these first few minutes. As we have a look at that counter-attack by Police, as you can see that shoulder charge by Sumud, a bit lucky to get away with that. But referee Gunaratne identifying that and just giving him a bit of a talk. Next time you do that, you could find yourselves in trouble. And Police win that line out well. Now they look to try and drive and test this Sia's driving maul defense that hasn't been successful.
It's a very well set maul, that. Assistant referee wants to have a word with referee Gunaratne. Jamaldeen may have spotted something. Here's a look at the line out. And here's when the flag comes out, so it may be a swinging arm that the referee did spot in the face of a player. but gets away with just a penalty. Unfortunately, due to high winds, we are not able to receive what the referee was trying to communicate when he awarded the penalty.
It's another great opportunity for police. If they can set this driving maul, it's just about 5 meters outside Sia's goal line. And it's been a real lethal weapon for police during that first round as well. So Sia's defense will definitely be tested.
What do you want? Come on, line out.
But fortunately for them, it was a really poor throw by police. Just going short without even using the jump. And the referee deeming that the ball was not straight. So another opportunity for Sia to clear their lines as we have a look at that once again. Yes, it just didn't seem to go right down the middle, didn't it, Sudarshana? So a couple of lost opportunities for police. They just got to be more clinical and ensure that they convert these opportunities. Otherwise, it could come to haunt them later. As Umalka Gunaratne breaks from the back of the scrum, just to get a better angle for his fly half to clear. And it cleared, he does very well by Chandimal, and gets Sia out of their own 22. So Sia will breathe a sigh of relief.
Good kick from Chandimal to get out of jail after that run from Umalka Gunaratne. Police, on the other hand, have given away brilliant chances to hit back at CR with 5 points, mind you. Couple of golden chances, both times they weren't. They could not execute from their line out. Loose ball, but referee Jamaldeen deeming that it went into touch. And who will come away with it is the question.
CR has been pretty good at spoiling police's lineouts in this first few minutes. That's probably the third lineout where they have managed to apply enough pressure and try and force that turnover. But unfortunately, Rafaidin just knocking the ball at that crucial moment and giving police another scrum, which is about 15 meters outside their line.
This time police opting to send it out wide. Silva again, Sachit Silva this time. Trying to break the line. Well defended by CR. Police now trying to use the width of the field. But good counter-attack from CR. Managing to rip the ball away from police. But penalized for holding on. Rehan Silva initially did the good work of ripping that ball out and turning the ball over, but did not have enough supporting players to clear the lines.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was Sachit Silva. Wonderful work. Just a fantastic technique to get himself over the ball on that occasion and just apply enough pressure. Have a look at that once again. Rahul Silva initially just identifying the loose ball. Did very well to pick it up. Rehan Silva going into contact, but unfortunately Umalka was there, but just arriving a bit too late. It probably was an argument whether the police player was maintaining his balance, but nonetheless referee Priyanka Gunaratne deciding otherwise, and Chandimal just slots it over to cut the deficit down to just 1 point. So it's 7 points to 6 in favor of CRNFC. But territorially, you'd have to say that police are the team that seems to have been dominating this half thus far, Sudarshana.
Something to bring back from the pressure that they put CR under in their own half. Police would be really glad that they've gotten 6 points. 6 points to 7 reads much better than 3 points to 7. Now police deciding to run it from inside their 22 meters. Johnny Chandimal likes to run with the ball. and recognizing that empty space. Good kick which has gone to the 22 meters. So Malka Gunaratne now trying to run a counter. Not a very good pass. That wasn't a great pass by Malka. Thought about the kick for a second, but that was a little too ambitious.
Yes, it was also kind of a no-look pass. It's not the kind of pass you want to do in your own 22 when you don't have any cover defense behind you as well. So it's just these kind of errors that continuously put Sia under pressure. As we have a look at that, a long gangling kick going right into Sia 22. Omalka there, he had Chandimal next to him, would have done well to just pass the ball and just try and clear the lines, but decided to throw the rather wayward pass. And Police have done very well in this line out. They seem to be setting themselves up for a driving maul. Sia defense will definitely be tested. And they've done well to nullify that initial attack, but Police have retained possession. And some nice hands. And they've broken that first line of defense. And unfortunately have knocked the ball on. Rahul De Silva again just getting the ball over and go off to Kevin Dixon. Ball is off to Rafaideen, one-on-one. Let's see whether he'll have enough on him to get over, but some good cover defense by Police. Nonetheless, Sia have recycled ball. They're going in to contact once again.
Good marauding run by Joel Pereira. Chandimal now gives it to Omalka Gunaratne, who's been tackled on the spot by Police, trying to spoil that ball. This time around, referee Gunaratne is right on the money. Hands on the ground, you are not supporting your own body weight. So CR come away with a penalty.
Yes, CR showed some good enterprise to try and run it from their own half with that turnover ball. Rafaideen just caught by the last line of defense. If not, he would have had another try coming his way. But nonetheless, Sia have done well to get a penalty, and Rafaideen finds some good touch just outside the 22. As we have a look at that once again.
Good tackle on Gunaratne, and that time putting his hands down. It was Nisal Samadhi.
Yes, just not supporting his body weight, wasn't it, Sudarshan? The first movement, just to get his balance, he did place his hands on the ground. And referee Gunaratne was right on the spot to just spot that and penalize.
Messi line outs, he are losing it. Wagisha coming away with it. But referee decides that there was no advantage because Police did lose it forward again in that maul.
Yes, so it was a double knock on. So Police with that just gave away whatever advantage they had from that. But it's an area of the game, isn't it, Sudarshan, where Sia have struggled their line-out play. Not just in terms of when they have possession, but even when they don't, in terms of defending that line-out maul. They struggled against Candy, they struggled against Heavies. And the need, that's an area of the game will they definitely look to brush up on.
It's been difficult for CR, especially when it comes to the front row side of things. But here's them trying to instigate a counter, but Rehan Silva coughs that ball away, so CR will get a scrum. Front rows have been a problem for CRNFC. If you look at the hooker starting today, he's the third hooker that's starting. Supanwarna Kulusurya for CRNFC. At the beginning of the season, we had the Lanjana Vijay Singh coming in, and also Sven Muller playing in a props position, although he's a hooker. So front row forwards have been lacking for CRNFC. We had Kokila Sama ThePapare as well, who carried a lot of weight in that front row. So CR with front row problems, when you don't have that continuity, it's difficult to try and execute it perfectly. And Kevin Dixon this time coughing it out very cheaply. It's been error-stricken opening 25 minutes, Abdullah. Both teams struggling to get any continuity into the game.
It's a very stop-start game, hasn't it been, Sudarshan? Just basic errors as we look at CR once again. Lot of decoy runners, but really nothing coming out of it. And Dixon just joining the line to form the overlap, but unable to just hold on to the ball. So I think both teams will need to tighten up because they've lost ball in contact, and when you continue to do that, it definitely does slow the pace down of the game.
Do correct me if I'm wrong. This season, the backs have struggled throughout the first round. We haven't seen that fluency throughout all the teams, but like you mentioned before the match as well, the forwards have been right on the money.
Last move, red.
Police Sports Club trying to clear the ranks, but Reserve fighting, trying to create a counter for CRNFC. It's a little isolated there, needs to be careful. Support finally arrives in the form of Angabman and Nudara Gayan. CR opting to go on to the short side. A little bit of a scuffle in the middle.
Time off.
Yes, well, it's very hot and humid out there, and I think you can see the frustration on the players as well, just unable to get any momentum from their point of view. Both teams not getting any rhythm.
Red number 15. Red number 15. Time on. Red number 15.
Red number 15.
Yes, well, from the looks of it, it looks like Kevin Dixon taking exception for one of the players holding him on, but his retaliation has just cost CRNFC a good 50 meters, really, Sudarshana. So it's always the good old saying, you never retaliate, isn't it? Because the second person is always the one who gets caught.
If at all be the instigator, but never retaliate.
So another opportunity for police. They've had some success whenever they've set up a driving maul and asked questions, but I'm sure they'll need to try and just finish it off.
Surya Perma, the man who's received the ball. Now Rasit Silva taking it forward. Police now, this is the time that they need to make sure they get one hit in the closed channels there. They haven't been able to get any yardage. Now if they can go to that wider channel, yes, that, and try and feed in a forward, they will be able to try and stretch the CR defense. Rasit Silva running outside. Good carry by Silva. He's not supporting his body weight, but referee deems that Silva was holding on. The arriving player was on his knees, Abdullah.
Well, according to the referee, he was on his feet and managing to get that turnover. So CR, fortunately, another chance for them to clear their lines and just spend a bit more time in Police's half territorially in this first 20 minutes or so. Police have very much planted themselves in CR's half and applied the necessary pressure. But Police will also be very disappointed by the fact that they haven't been able to convert those into points, as we have a look at that once again. Initially, Wajid Fahmy was on his feet, but as the play went on, he just seemed to go off it, and a bit lucky in hindsight, I think, to get away with that. Nonetheless, CR formed a good driving maul here and seem to have police on the back foot. It's great to see. We haven't seen enough of this by CRNFC in that first round, and they've done extremely well to try and stay in their retained position. Recycled once again, and I'm sure their forwards will take a lot of confidence from that driving maul. Sudarshana, we haven't seen that from CRNFC in this season, and the fact that they managed to apply that pressure on to the police pack and also managing to get a penalty will give them a lot of confidence for the remainder of this game.
Absolutely, Abdullah. These forwards are, what they need is to try and get into motion, but very unfortunate that though for CRNFC not managing to get touch, but police does the work for them, kicking it out on the full.
A good take by Wajid Fawmi. Another opportunity for CRNFC to execute a driving maul. They have done that, but again, another unforced error by CRNFC resulting in turning possession over. Really, both teams have been very guilty of this infringement of losing the ball in contact. It's really unforced pressure, isn't it? Unforced errors that just seem to be mounting in this game. Both teams unable to find any rhythm whatsoever. The CRNFC attempt another driving maul. Unfortunately, Varnakula Surya on that occasion just not managing to hold on to the possession, knocking the ball on. So these are just elementary errors that has plagued both teams so far in this first half.
It's not going to be very easy on the two front rows of the two teams. It's not going to be easy because time after time they have to go into a scrum, and it takes a big toll on you, Abdullah, in this opening half an hour of the game. And the sun is not kind to the players as well. It's a hot sunny day here at the Longdon place. That time CR guilty of not releasing the player and giving him an opportunity, not showing daylight. But police are not good with their touch. CR trying to run from their own try line. Kevin Dixon manages to get away with the first two players, but finally brought down by Silva. CR now trying to clear their ranks under pressure by police. Chandimal finds touch, and that's another opportunity for police. They've had plenty, so have CR and FC, but we've only had one try and two penalties in this game, Abdullah, which has been a stop-start affair. Both teams shaking away a little bit of dust that has collected from the off week, and an in-depth look at Dialogue Rugby League facts and figures. You can visit us on ThePapare stats by going into stats.thepapare.com, where you will have all the information, and you number geeks can argue on who got the best stats amongst these players. We have the leaderboard for most tries and most points as well. SCR tried to get away from their own territory, up and undercharged, still managing to hold on to possession. They have numbers on the outside CR, but Angammana trying to run through the middle. Rahul now this time opts to go to his left. CR will do well to be patient, but sees that there was nobody at the back. Well done by the police forwards to secure that ball, but CR doing well to turn it over. Topsy-turvy play, not very structured. You can't really say which team will have the ball in the next phase. But CR now looking for some continuity. Rehan Silva gives the ball out to Nalin Kumara, and which ends up ultimately in a loss forward.
Well, Sudarshan, you were saying a few minutes ago of how every time there is a stop-start and there is a scrum, it takes a lot out of the forwards. But the players have just themselves to blame, isn't it? I mean, passes just being flung all over the place, total lack of accuracy, and then when they make a break, just the pass not going in hand, ball knocked on, and then we have a restart. So the more restarts you have, it just shows a sign of a lack of accuracy on both teams' parts, and it's so far just been one of those games where neither team has been able to just get any rhythm going.
CR, however, have had the majority of the possession in this opening half, Abdullah. They're guilty of not being a little patient, trying to do a little too much every time they have possession. Police, on the other hand, have been under pressure of losing possession every time they got it through silly mistakes. Kicking for advantage that, so they will receive another penalty. Interesting call to be made here, Abdullah. Do you go for points or do you go for touch? Because police have struggled. Yes, they've decided that they're going for points.
Yes, absolutely the correct call. Just 5 minutes more to half time. They're just 1 point down. So just the fact that if they can go into half time with a lead, I'm sure that will give them a lot of confidence. Because while I agree that CR do seem to have a bit more in terms of possession, territorially though, Sudarshan, it's very much been police all the way. They have been in CR's half on numerous occasions with the opportunity to try and put points on the board. And I think the returns will disappoint them no end, because it's been just the 2 penalties, and they've had a chance to score at least another 2 tries, which have gone a-begging.
Oh, absolutely. And here's Jonathan Dimal trying to make it 3 penalties and has no problem. So police will try and look to go into half time with the lead, 9 points to 7. And I do agree with you. They will look back and regret about the amount of points that they could have gotten. They've absolutely dominated territory, like you mentioned, although CR have managed to hold on to possession for dear life in their own half. Majority coming through their forwards, trying and turning over possession from police. CR quickly restarting. Police will look to finish this half strong, because CR, as they know and as we know, can come back. They have the quality to come back, and they have a top 4 spot, top 4 finish at stake in this second round, and a real chance at the title with the new structure. That's a missed pass by Rashid Silva, and unfortunately Angamana losing the ball forward, trying to turn that one over. Would have been a try of his dreams if he managed to catch that one.
Yes, some good line speed by CR, just putting that pressure on police and enforcing that knock on. As we have a look at that once again, police using the short side, creating another phase, but the fact that they're just unable to get over the gain line puts a lot of pressure when it comes to the next phase. And Gaman almost was away, but just unable to hold on to the ball. So great attacking opportunity for CRNFC. They've got the entire right flank open. Omalka decides to make the initial break, gets over the gain line. He needs support to try, and the ball has been ripped off him. So again, really poor by CRNFC. Police have done well to get off their lines. Recycle ball, and will now look to try and clear their lines as well. They go into contact again. Joel Pereira just trying to Turn position over, but some good defense by CRNFC. But nonetheless, Priyanda Gunaratne deeming that the CR defense was offside. Just a bit over ego on that occasion. So the referee just having a word with Rasid Silva. Probably trying to referee the game as well. So generally referees don't like that. So just having a quiet word to Rasid Silva, and police will get a penalty. Just about 90 seconds for this half to be completed.
Decent touch by Chandimal.
Yes, deciding to go to the left flank when he had a relatively good angle. As we have a look at that once again, the ball being ripped off Omalka's hands. And again, just losing that ball in contact. It's such a frustrating part that both teams have been guilty of in this first half. And it's probably been the main reason why we haven't had any continuity in this game. A very stop-start affair.
Police with another opportunity just before the half time. Again, Udarasuri Peruma is not successfully collecting it cleanly, but police backs now trying to be a little industrial, create something of this. A hit out, and yet again police cough that one off. Udarasuriya Peruma the culprit that time, and that will be the end of the first half. Right on the money by referee Gunaratne. He's had enough of stop starts in this first half. 9 points to 7. Police in the lead. What are your thoughts on the first half, Abdullah?
Well, Sudarshan, I'd have to say it was a very, very scrappy first half, wasn't it? Lot of missed opportunities, mainly by police. But both teams are pretty much guilty of losing possession at key moments. And just both teams unable to find any rhythm whatsoever. So I'm sure the coaches will definitely need to have a word with their players and tell them to try and tighten things up a bit more. Because I think both teams will need to step up in that second half. It's been a closely fought game, but in terms of execution, I think it's left a lot to be desired.
Absolutely, Abdullah. Half time. Police stand on top of CRNFC. 9 points to 7, but really CR needs to try and get into that territorial game, Abdullah. Like you mentioned, they need to try and play as much rugby as they can in the police's half and not in their half. We saw when they tried creating something from their own half. Here's the solitary try in this opening 40 minutes. The first time CRNFC came into the police ranks, Sumudu ended up scoring.
Yeah, that's right, and that's where CR always very dangerous. When they have good front foot ball, where they give the three quarters an opportunity to run onto possession, run onto the ball and create gaps. But we just haven't seen enough of that. And the police, although 9 points to 7 ahead, will be a bit disappointed because they've had some great opportunities on at least a couple of occasions to score one. I think Adisha Virtunga just missing out an opportunity when the line was at his mercy. So it's just 3 penalties courtesy of Chandimal that has police ahead 9 points to 7 at half time.
And we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have the second half action of CR versus Police Sports Club.
She won't take me somewhere I'm not supposed to be. You can't steal the things that God has given me.
Crescent Mini Keys. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keys only from Crescent.
Unlimited calls. Unlimited data තියෙනවා කියන්නේ. ඕනම ගේමක් ගහන්න පුළුවන්. මාස ඒක ආන්සර් කරන්නම ඕනි කෝල් එක. සර් මෙහෙම මාස්ටර් ප්ලෑන් එකක් ඇවිල්ලත් නැහැ. ආයේ එන්නෙත් නැහැ. ඉක්මනට මොබිටෙල් මාස්ටර් පැකේජ් එක දාගන්න. ඒකේ calls data දෙකම unlimited.
Unlimited calls, unlimited data, only with Mobitel Master Unlimited Package.
මේක ගන්න ඕනි පැකේජ් එකක්.
Crunchy Munchy.
Fiery Kochi.
Crescent Kochi Bites. Try it. Love it. The original Kochi Bites only from Crescent.
Unlimited calls. Unlimited data තියෙනවා කියන්නේ. ඕනම ගේමක් ගහන්න පුළුවන්. මාස ඒක ආන්සර් කරන්නම ඕනි කෝල් එක. සර් මෙහෙම මාස්ටර් ප්ලෑන් එකක් ඇවිල්ලත් නැහැ. ආයේ එන්නෙත් නැහැ. ඉක්මනට මොබිටෙල් මාස්ටර් පැකේජ් එක දාගන්න. ඒකේ calls data දෙකම unlimited.
Unlimited calls, unlimited data, only with Mobitel Master Unlimited Package.
මේක ගන්න ඕනි පැකේජ් එකක්.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Breeder fast Pulsar NS160 with wider tyres and twin disc brakes from David Pierce Motor Company Private Limited.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Unlimited calls. Unlimited data තියෙනවා කියන්නේ. ඕනම ගේමක් ගහන්න පුළුවන්. මාස ඒක ආන්සර් කරන්නම ඕනි කෝල් එක. සර් මෙහෙම මාස්ටර් ප්ලෑන් එකක් ඇවිල්ලත් නැහැ. ආයේ එන්නෙත් නැහැ. ඉක්මනට මොබිටෙල් මාස්ටර් පැකේජ් එක දාගන්න. ඒකේ calls data දෙකම unlimited.
Unlimited calls, unlimited data, only with Mobitel Master Unlimited Package.
මේක ගන්න ඕනි පැකේජ් එකක්.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you on www.thepapare.com, Dialogue TV and My TV. CRNFC hosting Police Sports Club. If you missed the first half, you didn't miss much. You missed a frustrating first half where it was all stop and start. Police managing to end the half with the lead, 9 points to 7. Putting in 3 penalties. CR managing to get the solitary try that was scored in the first half as Police restart. Abdullah will hope for a better second half this time.
Yes, I'm sure both coaches of both camps would have had a stern word with their charges. And CR making some early ground. They just need to try and get some quick phase ball. Coach Nilf Ibrahim seems to have rung the changes in as well. He's brought Tarinder Ratwata, his key player, back. And Himanta Hirushan True has come back. And Chandimal, nice little chip kick, but unfortunately not able to retrieve that. Nonetheless, referee Gunaratna was playing a bit of advantage. The ball was just slapped out of the scrum half's hand. Bit lucky on some occasions the referees could deem that have been rather cynical and could go to the pocket as well. But on this occasion, Priyantha Gunaratna just deciding to award a penalty. There seems to be a CR player down on the far end. It's Rahul De Silva. So it's a key change from CR's point of view in the second half. Tarinder Ratwata has been brought into that fullback position. An interesting change, so which means that Kevin Dixon has been substituted.
Dixon is still on the field, so interestingly, Dixon might move into the center position or to the wings rather, because Chandimal is also in field, so he will play number 10. Rehan Silva is also on the field. So seems like Tarinder has come in place of Sumuduran Kodge, but will play in the fullback position. Interesting change that. Maybe Nilofer Ibrahim is looking to try and creating that extra man at the back like Steve Hansen does with Damien McKenzie. Trying to get Ratwate to create something from the counters.
Yes, well, I like to see that happen if that is part of his game. So Ratwata with his first touch manages to gain some good ground from CR's point of view. CR and FC just didn't spend enough time in that first half in Police's half, did they, Sudarshana? I thought Police dominated the territorial part of the game, but will be very disappointed that the returns haven't been to their satisfaction. So great opportunity for CR to launch an attack at the start. Quick line out to Rahul De Silva. Goes to Chandimal, a nice cutout pass and a lovely angle by Omalka Gunaratna. Omalka goes over, wonderful run. And just the start that CRNFC wanted. A beautifully executed backline move. Omalka hitting the line at pace. The Police defense absolutely caught napping. And Omalka Gunaratna just showing his wonderful running skills to go over for CR's first score of this half. And it's just the start that CR would have wanted, Sudarshana.
Great stuff by Omalka Gunaratna. Individually finishing that one off. This is the quality that CR possess. When they want to call on to I for a second, there you go. Dedicating it to his dear friend Marco.
Yes, if you can have a look at that try once again, it was just the speed at which Omalka hit that line of a very flat pass that completely foxed the police defense. And just managing to pierce that defense, and with just the fullback to beat, they had no problem to just going around him. So an opportunity for Ratwata to further extend this lead. Unfortunately, the ball just missing the right upright. So the score will be 12 points to 9. Just the start that Sia would have wanted. And it just shows to Sudarshana, when they do execute their plans properly, they're a very hard team to stop, but it's just not been regular enough, hasn't it?
Absolutely, that's been the problem. Let's hope that second half, both teams will try and look to execute properly. We can see Gavin Seagoods as well in the crowd. A very close friend of Marco, who plays his rugby at Navy Sports Club, present at this game today. Tarinder Ratwate recognizes the space right at the back. So you are doing the right thing now. They want to play as much rugby as they can in the police half and try and pounce on any mistake by police, who are currently running laterally. Gunaratna putting police under pressure that time. Great offload that to try and get away. This is Sachit Silva. Police now need to calm down. Rashid Silva will be looking to take the ball to line, tuck it in, get the forwards in motion. Chandimal gives it out to Surya Peruma. Here's police attacking the corner. Got one man to beat. Should have looked for the offload. Good counter face by police. Now through the gaps. Can they offload? But CR defense really under pressure now. Vagisha Veerasinghe gaining important yards. Quick ball out available for police. Numbers on the outside, decides to take it in. Police now slowly breaching into the 22 meters of the CR half. Slowing it down. Chandimal. They've lost it forward, but referee Gunaratna have been playing advantage for offside infringement. So police have an opportunity to go for points and square this one out. Abdullah, I believe they will go for points from here.
Yeah, that's right. It's the correct choice, but it's much better by both teams in this half, hasn't it been, Sudarshana? Much more positive. The execution has been much more accurate. So whatever the coaches have told them at halftime, or whatever has been put into those halftime recovery drinks, is definitely having the desired effect. The execution of both teams has been much better in this first 5 minutes, and let's just hope that it will continue to be so, because if it is the case, then I'm sure it will be a very entertaining second half of this game. Chandimal, 100% accuracy thus far. And he's fluffed that kick. So just unable to slot that over to find the equalizing, to find the equalizer from police's point of view. So Ratwata with the dropout goes long. Sia need to find their chasing lines, the chasing patterns clear. They've got to make those first tackles. A good hit by Hirushan. It's just made his presence felt in the second half. And good face ball. Another wonderful show and go by Sajid Silva. He has players out wide. And Police striking immediately. Some really poor defense by CRNFC.
Irushan Silva, the man who did the hard work and puts his brother Sachit Silva to score. Brilliant try by Police. And like you mentioned earlier, both teams getting their act together, getting that second, third pass on spot. Take a look at this. Brilliant show and go by Sachit Silva, and had the good sense to offload after committing two CR defenders. And Sachit Silva touching down, Irushan Silva rather, the man who created that try.
Yes, well, the CR defensive line was virtually non-existent on that occasion. Was in Sudarshana some really poor communication, or rather lack of it, and just enabling Police to strike back immediately and retake the lead. So it's been a topsy-turvy entertaining second half thus far. Well, he took his run. If Sia had any sense, they can go and just knock that ball over, because he had started his run. Just the awareness of the rules are so important, isn't it, Sudarshana?
Absolutely. Well, after you complete your run, even if the wind comes through, the opposition can come and attack you. Never mind that, Police now in the lead, 14 points to 12. That was a great finish by Silva. Great try by Silva brothers rather. Irushan Silva, the man creating it for Sachit. They do look alike on the field as well. Another Silva, despite not being related to Irushan nor Sachit. Rasit Silva is the man who's entrusted with the line-out duties. Haven't had a great day today. This defensive front. Joel trying to spoil that one, but not managing to get it across to his side.
Yes, it's good to see Sia much more aggressive in their defensive line-out. They're competing. They've spoilt it on a number of occasions, and another good spoil by Joel Pereira. Unfortunately, not being able to get complete control of that tap. But nonetheless, I think they'll be a bit more happy and pleased with their line-out effort today, at least in terms of their defensive line-out. So Police with an opportunity to clear their lines.
Police will try and do well to try and exploit the void channel, because there's a massive gap in between Tarinder Atwate in second center. Then here's the gap that you can exploit. There's a massive gap in between Tarinder Atwate and Reza Rafaidi in there. Police trying to go on the other side of the field, trying to use the width of the field and try and stretch this defense. Numbers on the outside. Rasit Silva running in the wings.
Yes, did extremely well to stay in play there. He didn't have much room to work with. The referee has his hand out for an infringement by Sia, so he's playing advantage. And finally, I think they decided to go to the pocket. It'll be Varnakula Surya who will be sent to the sin bin. Eventually just trying the referee's patience. Penalized for going on the side, I believe. So CRNFC for the next 10 minutes will be down to 14 players. It's an opportunity for Police to try and make use of that extra man and try and increase their points on the scoreboard.
Police need to try and hurry up here. Here's another replay. Supan Varnakulu Surya that time, no hands, a shoulder charge. He's not trying to clear the man. Surya Peruma collects it this time. Police trying to set it up. They have a numerical advantage. Well set maul. Not able to continue it. Comes out to Chandimal. Chandimal gives it to now Silva. Sachit Silva spilling it forward. Unfortunate for police. The mistakes now creeping up slowly into both teams. CR will receive a scrum in their favour. Here's another look at that. Silva losing concentration momentarily.
He's just taking his eyes off the ball at the crucial moment. So another knock on and another opportunity for CR to try and launch an attack. It's been, we've said this numerous occasions, it's been a pretty much a stop-start affair, a high error count from both teams. Saw glimpses in that first 10 minutes of this second half of what both these teams can produce. But it's important that the execution continues to be a bit more accurate. And looks like Sven Muller has come in to the hooker's position. He has to come in because the front row has been sent to the sin bin. And it looks like Wajid Faumi. Ogan Dilshan has made his way to the bench to ensure that Sia down to 14 players. Another really poor pass and absolutely nothing passed there. They had the entire three-quarter line formed on that right-hand flank, and there was absolutely no room for anyone to do anything. Just bringing pressure on themselves in this Sudarshan. If you look at that again,
there's another look at that. Omarka Gunaratna to Rehan Silva passes it wide to no one. Nalin Kumar tries his level best to get his hands, but it was going nowhere there. Bad judgment by Silva that time. Had Tarinder Ratwate next to him.
But there were just far too many players formed on that short side, Sudarshan, and so you've got to question the planning, the calls that these players are making. Are they thinking through what they're supposed to do? Because they were just three quarters infield as well, and eventually the entire three-quarter line was formed there as well. As we see Chamod Fernando making his way a star player during his days at Isipatana College, still finding his feet at club level. So police create another phase. Nice dummy. Good recycle position. Just trying to find player. And again, Sachit Silva almost going over. That's well to stay in play.
Left it inside for his winger, who didn't absolutely read it. Dumbfounded by the ball that popped in front of him. Should have cut back inside, which was Silva's plan. But unfortunate for police, they leave more points on the park. Here's another look at it. Sachit Silva did brilliantly there. Janit Chanaka not having the awareness to cut back inside, otherwise would have been a try for the records.
And also, Sudarshan, if you look at that play again, if this three-quarters just managed to run straighter and pass, they would have created so much more room, but they were just drifting across, and it just helps the defensive team to drift across as well, and it just cuts off whatever space you have. So it's just these small mistakes that can just make such a big difference. Omalka breaks once again. Sia deciding to run, and Ratwata deciding very wisely to use the boot and gain some good ground. Right into the 22, so Sia's police through Sachit Silva will be looking to try and counter-attack. They need to play that ball, but good work by, wonderful work by Chamod Fernando. Just going over, and Sachit Silva find himself isolated. He needed to have his other supporting players get involved in that breakdown, but unfortunately that was not the case. As we have a look at that once again.
Initially I did think that since he had a wobble, he would try and opt for his boot, because he's He's able to clear the ranks as well, clear the line. Sachit Silva. Bad judgment there. Now Tarinder Ratwatte with an opportunity to put CR back in the lead. Get 3 points while they are reduced to 14 men, which will definitely give them a psychological advantage and eat into a little bit more time till they are restored to their original number. Sensible call by the red men. And Tarinder has absolutely no problem, puts in 3 points. 15 points to 14. CR gets in front.
Yes, it was an interesting call to leave out Tarinder from the starting lineup. Such a big part of this CR machinery, but Coach Nilofer Ibrahim deciding to bring him on in the second half, and so far he hasn't disappointed, but he's been shifted to his slightly slightly not a very comfortable position of fullback. He's more home and fly half. So a disappointing error by Police, just kicking the ball out on the full. And another great opportunity for CRNFC right in the middle of the field. It's just so important to make the correct calls from these kind of situations. Previously we saw all of them lining up on one side, depriving themselves of any room to work with. Be interesting to see the formation and what kind of call they will make. We all know how fond Omalka is of breaking from this kind of situation and linking up with the scrum half. So they have options on both sides. Dixon, Ratwat and Chamod Fernando on one side, Chandimal, Rehan Silva on the other.
But Police doing very well, using that extra man in the scrum to put CR under pressure. Omalka did very well, but CR losing that ball forward in the next infringement. Police would want to try and hurry things up here. They want to play as much as they can during the time CR are reduced to 14 men.
Yes, Police yet haven't been able to capitalize on having that extra man advantage, isn't it, Sudarshana? CR have managed to get 3 points during that period. It's just so important to make use of those opportunities when you have the extra man. You can see fatigue slowly but surely setting into this players of both teams. As we have a look at that once again, it was a very good scrum by Police, just making use of the 7-man scrum that CR are forced to employ as a result of losing Supunwarna Kulasurya. Let's see whether CR Police will be able to try and induce a penalty from these scrums, having that extra man advantage.
Definitely that should be the plan, given the fact that they managed to put CR really under pressure in with their own scrum. Here's an attacking scrum for Police Sports Club, but CR doing very well to put a lot of pressure on Police, forcing the number 8 to break. Hassan Fernando carrying the ball for Police. Here's Rasid Silva. Takes it standing. Stationary collection there. Doesn't give him any momentum. Miroshan Silva is brought down. Does very well to offload to the halfback, Shifas. Hassan Fernando now carrying the ball forward for Police. Shifas Amit. Johnny Chandimal found Surya Pirma on his inside shoulder. Danushka Idrisurya.
So some good defensive work by CRNFC, not allowing Police to get in front of the gain line. Charmikara again, a nice hit. Police forced onto the back foot, resulting in Chandimal trying to clear, but a really poor clearance. And referee playing advantage for offside, and a nice kick ahead by Rahul De Silva, but probably a bit too much in it. But he was playing the advantage nonetheless. And they penalized because of that poor kick by Chandimal, resulting in the police players in front being penalized for offside. So another opportunity as we have a look at that once again. Poor kick by Chandimal, going right into the CR players' hands, but the police defensive line was way offside. They had need to be behind the kicker. And Rahul De Silva making use of that advantage, just trying the kick over, but unfortunately just a bit too much weight on it going into the deadline. So CRNFC deciding to go for touch, and Ratwat obliges with a good kick that takes it on the 25-meter line. So police really haven't been able to make use of this extra man, isn't it, Sudarshana? Sia have done well to try and minimize that damage. They have controlled possession during that period, which has definitely helped. I'm sure they look to run the clock down for those remaining few minutes, so they'll have the full complement of players back in field.
CR with a good line out. Now their backs. Tarinder Ratwat, they're trying to create through the middle. Steps off two, but finally tackled. Rahul De Silva has options on both sides, opts to go on his shorter side. Chandimal gives it to Gayan Buddhika, who spills the ball forward.
Yes, another great opportunity lost for CRNFC. They made some inroads. The police defensive line was completely at sea. But again, just trying to force the issue and resulting in a knock-on. So both teams will look back at this game and will look at the opportunities that they have missed. As we have a look at that once again. It was a good bit of distribution by Chandimal. Gayan just going over, trying to offload, but just did not steady himself enough. And with the impact on the ground, knocking the ball on and turning possession over. So CRNFC will look back and rue that opportunity. But from their point of view, they'll be happy that they'll have the full complement of players back from now on. Barnakul Surya makes his entrance once again.
Pandu Kalangammana is replaced alongside Rahul De Silva. Harit Bandara comes in place of Rahul. And Nipi scrum off Rahul. Here's CR with a turnover in dangerous quarters. Harit Bandara's first touch, quick distribution, cutting back inside is the big centre for CRNFC, going wide to Kevin Dixon. Bandara now to Joel Pereira, who spills his forward. Has been the story throughout this game for CRNFC. Continuity has been there for, and if police can try and get another try under their belt, they will really put CR under a lot of pressure. Take a look at that, unforced.
And those are the kind of errors that just frustrate the coaches no end, isn't it, Sudarshana? You go through those moves day in, day out at your training during the week. And you expect these players at this level to execute them a bit better. But on that occasion, Joel Pereira just taking his eyes off the ball, looking at the defensive line and resulting in a knock-on. He had Omalka Gunaratna outside him as well. And if he managed to hold on to that ball, it could have caused a lot of problems for police. But now another great opportunity for police for them to clear their lines.
Shanaka Harishchandra baking from the back. Referee playing advantage to police. Surya Perum acting half back. No advantage, says referee, and there's another yellow card coming in.
Yes, I think that was a fair call. I don't think you can blame referee Gunaratnam because that was very cynical by CRNFC. They did not retreat the 10 meters from that penalty, and it was just a lazy tackle by the, I think it was Joel Pereira on that occasion.
I think it was Himanta Hirushan, the culprit.
That's right. So CR now back down to 14 players. So they'll spend 20 minutes of this game with the player short, as we have a look at that once again. And I think it's fair to say that the wrong person has been sent to the sin bin.
Well, Mithila Beratna was the man guilty of that, who just came in place of Gayan Dilshan. But nevertheless, CRNFC reduced to 14 men yet again, so they will play 20 minutes of this game with 14 men, and will have only themselves to blame if they end up second best today. Currently in the lead though, with 15 points to 14. What will be going through the back of the minds of CR players here, Abdullah, because they haven't been able to get the continuity, as we've been saying repeatedly. It's a lack of concentration that's affecting them in this game, as Rasid Silva hits Udara Surya Perma, not managing to hold on to possession. CR doing very well to turn that over. Omalka Gunaratna trying to straighten things up. Good run by Gunaratna, needs to make it available. Bandar with a quick ball out to Ratwatte. Dixon re-certified in, cutting back inside. Big hit on the first tackler. Harit Bandar now gives it out to Supun Varnakula Surya. Pressure on Varnakula Surya, but ball available for CR. Chandimal to Dixon. Trying to create something. Dixon runs into traffic. Bandar to Chandimal. Gunaratna with another carry. CR have options on the open side. Chandimal to Ratwatte. Man loses it forward.
He had a man outside him. Really poor choice by I think CR's number 6. I think it was Joel Pereira. Just need to draw and pass to Chamod Fernando, who was outside him. As we have a look at that once again. Good recycled ball, creating another phase. This is where CR and FC are very dangerous when they do get quick recycled ball. Harit Bandara's presence has definitely had an impact. Ratwata distributing to Faumi, and Faumi just going into contact and losing the ball. He had Chamod Fernando outside him as well. Number of times in this game, and even in the first round, Sudarshan and the players have lost ball in contact is just unbelievable, really. There's no other way of putting it. It's a very basic skill. Rugby is a physical contact game, and when you go into contact, you've got to ensure that you do secure the ball, and that basic skill just hasn't been executed well enough. As the police try and launch another attack from their own half, they've done that successfully. Some good hands going back, recycling position well. Ball slowed down, and again knocking the ball on. It's just been the story of this game, really.
Well, both sides not disappointing each other in knocking the ball over, outclassing each other actually. That move did look very promising for police, but take a look at that. Completely unacceptable, given the fact that you are a number 10. When you're an outside half, that needs to be your bread and butter. Abdullah, right in the slot, in front of you, onto your target. It's your responsibility to try and catch it, and not try and catch it, definitely catch it and distribute.
Yes, it's just catch and give, isn't it? That's what it's all about, this game of rugby. Unfortunately, both these teams haven't been able to execute that well enough.
CRNFC scruffy after that scrum. Chandimal taking the ball into contact. Gunaratne playing half back for CRNFC.
Yes, referee seems to have his hand out for advantage. And police penalized for offside, so an opportunity for CR again to just wind this clock down a bit more. Down to 14 players. And Ratwata deciding to go for the post. We've seen him making kicks from the halfway line before, and this will also just eat into that clock a bit more as well. So it's a good choice by CRNFC. So a lot of work-ons for both coaches after this game. The execution of skills has been quite poor, really, to put it mildly. Basic facts like catch and pass, securing the ball in contact has been very poor. So Ratwata will be looking to just extend this lead from CR's point of view.
To be a little fair by the players. Good kick by Ratwate, right on the money. Has the distance. So extends that lead to 4 points, 18 points to 14. Coming back to your earlier statement, Abdullah, to be fair by the players, they're coming off a break week, first game of the year. I know they need to be professional about it, but maybe just that break took them off a little on the momentum front, trying to get their rhythm. That's why maybe we are witnessing it from both sides.
Yes, well, let's hope in this next round onwards, these players will be have got their heads round to the fact that they're playing in a league tournament. Players are semi-professional as well. Need to be in better physical condition in terms of skill execution as well. And again, another unforced error by Wagisha on this occasion, just knocking the ball on and giving another opportunity for CRNFC to launch and attack. A wonderful scrum just outside the 22.
Costly error that. Tarendra Ratwate does well to recognize the space at the back. Wagisha had to track back but doesn't collect it cleanly. So police under pressure. If CR can get a try here, get 5 points on the board, it will really take it away from police in the final 10 minutes of this game. Referee Gunaratne not happy with the formation of that scrum. And a reminder to all of you that Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, ThePapare.com, is celebrating a great milestone this year. A decade of sharing the passion. It's been 10 years. So ThePapare.com has lined up some great segments to celebrate beautiful 10 years, which wouldn't have been possible with the wonderful fans that we have, both locally and internationally, who follow us very eagerly. So I kindly urge you, all our fans, to engage with us during these celebrations, as CRNFC will consider themselves very lucky because referee Gunaratne did not spot that lost forward by Harit Silva. But CR riding with momentum. Out to Ratwate, gives out a long cutout pass to Riza Rafaidin, who's been bundled into touch. Good cover defensive work by Janit, who makes use of the touch line to be the extra defender. Kudos to him. Here's the replay. It was a quick ball coming out for CR, who are That was the penalty, and there you go. Harit Bandara maybe did not knock it on after all.
Now after this phase, you'd have to question, did Ratwata need to throw that long cutout pass, isn't it, Sudarshan? If he had gone hands, maybe he could have drawn a few more players in. Just that cutout pass enabled the police defense to just drift across and deprived Rafaedin of the necessary space for him to try and work his magic. So sometimes that cutout pass is not necessarily the best option. Going through the hands will help to draw the defense, to check the defense and create space out wide. So that's a good line out ball by Surya Peruma. Did extremely well to secure that under a lot of pressure from CRNFC. Police will look to try and clear their lines from this. They've just got 5 minutes more to go in this game.
Police persistent with their maul. Still rolling. Gaining important meters. Will now look to run Police. Johnny Chandimal rather, penetrating the defensive line. Now Roshan Silva gives it out to Sachit Silva, who doesn't collect it cleanly, but referee will come back for a penalty advantage for Police. This could very well be the final chance that Police get to try and make something of this one. They're just one score away, Abdullah.
Yes, there's definitely everything to play for. They can find touch and get some good line out ball. Unfortunately, from Police's point of view, that combination of the Silva brothers hasn't quite worked in this second half as it did in that first half. They were very dangerous in that first half, that combination, but unfortunately for Police, that just hasn't been the case in the second half. As we have a look at that again, the ball just going behind Sachit Silva, unable to gather that cleanly. So good touch finder. Puts Police on the halfway mark. They'll definitely need to score a try if they are to get to win this game. It's a 4-point difference. So that will also be at the back of their mind. The penalty won't do.
A little bit of a conference right in the middle. Wagisha in the thick of action. Police need to have a solid line out here. Uddara Surya gained the preferred man to go to. Police have brilliantly gotten their maul together. So you are trying to disrupt it. Still on the move. This time exposed to the oncoming defender. Now switching it out wide. A hit through the middle by a forward. Sachit Silva with the ball. 2 men to mark him. No way through there for Sachit Silva. Police needs to look at alternatives now.
Wonderful light speed by CRNFC, just not letting Police get over the gain line, but they seem to have players out wide. Some wonderful hands. Needs to stay in play, and they've done that extremely well. So some good, a good passage of play by Police here. They're throwing everything into it, just a couple of minutes to go. And a poor pass really, but Police doing well to recover possession. I don't think that was the correct option, but you'd have to say that Police were playing advantage.
Now Police do really believe that they can get one out here. If they can go to touch, they will really put CR under pressure, because remember the last 2 times that they try and form the maul, they managed to earn a good 10 to 15 meters.
There's some good hands by the Police players.
Seatbelt tackle there by Reese Rafaidi. And police have managed to find a brilliant touch, and ThePapare.com captures the essence of the Dialogue Rugby League. Do visit us on www.thepapare.com/photos to find your pictures during the Dialogue Rugby League. And here's a chance for police to really finish this one off. Backs joining in on the maul as well. Marching forward of police. Right at the back is Lahiru Pavitra for police. Police with an advantage in the 5-meter line. 5 meters away. They need to be very patient here. CRNFC defending for their life here. Police forward, happy to keep it close. They need to try and send this one out because there seems to be no way through the CR ranks in the closer quarters. Inches away. CR forwards now battling away in the close quarters. Police supporters have found their voice, getting behind the players. Referee Gunaratna says held up, and it will be a scrum in play. Oh well, penalty advantage. He comes back to the penalty advantage. Very interesting, Abdullah. Do you take the risk of a line out here, or do you go with a scrum for police?
It's a tough call, but that last line out seemed to have had the desired effects, but Surya Perma this time deciding to call for a scrum. So maybe they do have a belief that they can put some pressure on this CRNFC 8 and try and go for a 8-man shove and try and go over through that. But it'll be interesting to see how the CR pack do respond to this pressure.
Keep an eye out on the number 9, Primesh Dhanushka, former Prince of Wales player, captain the side as well. He can be very nippy, and nippy scrum halves love 5-meter scrums. Let's see whether they can make something of it. Referee Gunaratna not happy with the initial setting of the scrum. Helter-skelter stuff. We had a very topsy-turvy game, but it's boiled down to a fiery finish here. Police with a real chance to upset CRNFC, and CRNFC defending for dear life.
Yeah, that's right. The way this game panned out, there wasn't much trails and spins in terms of the quality of the game, but nonetheless, it's provided a real climax of a finish here. Police deciding to go for a number 8 break. They've done well to recycle possession. It'll be interesting to see the options they will take now.
Shanaka Harishchandra, the man who carried it forward for police from the scrum. Rasitullah now going through the short side. Police forwards are determined to go through themselves, while the backs are screaming outside for the ball. Police will only have one chance, full time on our clock. There could be a minute or two remaining on the referee's clock. Police forwards happy to slow things down and are chipping away at the CR forwards and their defensive line. Inching ever so close. Have they got this one? No. Still short. Primesh Dhanushka touches down. And don't tell me I didn't call it, Abdullah.
You most definitely did, Sudarshana. You are telling me how these nippy scrum halves love this 5-meter plays and just going over, but you'd have to commend the police 8 for wonderful work. They showed some good defensive, or rather showed some good discipline to recycle possession, and it seems that they have clinched this game at the very end, and they have upset CRNFC at London Place.
What a finish to this game. And CRNFC have nobody else but themselves to blame. Yes, they've been given a bitter pill at the beginning of the year, but it was unfortunate they couldn't get their concentration back into this game. Credit to the police forwards, but Abdullah, it's up to us now. Johnny Chandimal adds salt to the wounds, and Police Sports Club breaks CRNFC hearts, and what a comeback win by the Cops.
Yes, you've got to hand it to police. They had their opportunities in that first half earlier on. They did not take it, but nonetheless they persevered, and they definitely stole it, as you say, at the end from Sia's point of view. You could see Primesh just identifying that gap on the short side, and Chandimal, who has been good with from police's point of view with the boot, just slotting it over, and with that police clinching a very close victory, and they'll be very happy with their effort. It was not a game of the highest quality, but it definitely provided the thrills and the spills at the very end, and the suspense that you'd look for from a game of rugby. CRNFC will be very disappointed. They've just themselves to blame. The execution was very poor. Whenever they did execute, they always looked threatening, but it was very sporadic. It was never consistent. So Sudarshana, we've got to narrow in on the player of the game for this match. There were some very good performances, I thought, in the pack. Surya Peramura, as ever, was a live wire in that police 8. Rasit Silva was good with his carrying ability, but for his incisive running and his ability just to identify the space, I'd have to go with Eroshan Silva, the police outside centre. I thought he was brilliant today, as we can see him making this initial break and then offloading to his brother Sachit Silva, the former Josephian star, to go over for that try. So he would be my man of the match because he was absolutely brilliant.
Well, I agree with you 100%. Eroshan Silva was the man who created for police through that middle ranks, getting his brother on the outside for the opening try. In the second half, Tarinder Ratwate tried with a couple of kicks, but it was this passage of play, Primesh Danushka hinting that he was going to go on the open side and being as nippy as ever, recognizing that short side gap that opened up. Wajid Fawmi couldn't do anything about it. Man of the hour, getting hugs from everybody. Very unfortunate for CRNFC because they did have a decent game come second half. They managed to get into that territorial mix. Tarinder Ratwate trying to put a couple over and putting the police backs under pressure.
Yes, and I thought in that second half they were playing with 14 players for 20 minutes of the game as well, Sudarshana. But I thought they weathered the storm there, but it just shows you've just got to be on your game for 80 minutes, because if not, the other team will definitely come back, and that's exactly what police have done. So police kickstart this second round with a very important win. I wouldn't call it a convincing win because it was far from convincing performance by both teams. But Shamli Nawaz's team will nonetheless take the win. They'll be very pleased with the win. But both teams will definitely have a lot to work on as this league progresses.
Dari Surya Perma, the man who captained the Cops today, would have been a very relieved man to see Primesh Danushka sail over the white line. And here's the key stats of the concluded game. CRNFC going down to police in the final minute of the game, 18 points to 21. CRNFC with 2 tries, only 1 converted, but police managing to head forward with that extra penalty that they decided to convert earlier on in the game. And our player of the match, Roshan Silva from Police Sports Club, being the man creating a lot of chances for Police. Upcoming fixtures, tomorrow we have CHNFC taking on Navy Sports Club at Racecourse, and Candy Sports Club are playing their opening second round game against Air Force like they started the first round, but this time in Nittavela. And the next week, the second week of the Dialogue Rugby League, CHNFC will take on CRNFC in the Maitland Derby second round, which will be played at Racecourse, CH's adopted home grounds. Air Force will host Police at Ratmalana on the 12th, same day, and Candy Sports Club playing Army. And the final game of the week will be Navy Sports Club hosting Havelocks at Valisara. Difficult place to travel, so Havelocks will want to keep their winning momentum going. And upcoming week segment for you on Tuesday. Every Tuesday the breakdown will come to you and will be followed by Rugby Pitya and the try of the week every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and I believe Primesh Danushka's little dink should be right up there in that try of the week segment, Abdullah.
Yeah, that's right. Wonderful in from Police's point of view. Primesh coming off the bench, just identifying that opportunity, and Sudarshan, you definitely called it. Those little nippy scrum halves love those kind of situations. The forwards do all the hard work, and the little scrum half takes all the glory. So, a well-deserved win for Police, but CRNFC will be very, very disappointed. Both teams, as we mentioned, Sudarshan, it was not the most convincing of performances by both teams, but it's just the will of Police, just seeing them through, that never die attitude, never giving up, playing till the very end, and just going over. So very pleased Police team and their supporters, and I'm sure they'll take a lot of confidence from this performance into their remaining games.
Great result for Police Sports Club in their opening fixture of the second round and the year, but disappointing finish for CRNFC, who have struggled in this game to maintain momentum. And that's it from us from ThePapare.com, bringing you this telecast of the first game of the second round. I'm Sudarshan Peiris alongside Abdullah Yusuf, our production and the technical team, saying goodbye from London Place.
Crunchy munchy.
Fiery Kochi.
Crescent Kochi Bites. Try it. Love it. The original Kochi Bites only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Unlimited calls, unlimited data තියෙනවා කියන්නේ. ඕනම ගේමක් ගහන්න පුළුවන්. මාස් ඒක ආන්සර් කරන්නම ඕනි කෝල් එක. සර්, මෙහෙම මාස්ටර් ප්ලෑන් එකක් ඇවිල්ලත් නැහැ. ආයේ එන්නෙත් නැහැ. ඉක්මනට මොබිටෙල් මාස්ටර් පැකේජ් එක දාගන්න. ඒකේ calls data දෙකම unlimited.
Unlimited calls, unlimited data, only with Mobitel Master Unlimited Package.
මේක ගන්න ඕනි පැකේජ් එක.
sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
New breed of fast, Pulsar NS160 with wider tyres and twin disc brakes from David Pieris Motor Company Private Limited.